Donald Trump and Ben Carson recently made comments regarding a person of the Islamic religion running for or holding an elected position in American government. This country was founded on religious freedom, but will the voting body of America honor that legacy in light of 9/11 and other extremist acts of terror that have followed? Tom, what do you think?
Well, first, I think it's always good to note the Constitution requirements for the president. Natural born citizen, you're 35 years old, you're good to go. Having said that, I think we have to realize that about 40 to 45, 46 to 54% of people in recent polls this past month on the Republican Party members think we already have a Muslim president. Do you think so?
Do I think we have a Muslim president?
Yeah. Do you think so?
I don't.
Over half of the Republicans believe our president.
I like to play around and joke
Muslim.
around about that, but
Seriously,
I don't think he's a Christian either.
Well, that's another
I mean,
story. We're not talking about
I don't
that.
think he actually has one faith that he beholds himself to.
My point is just that most Republicans, over half, at least in some polls,
I don't like him for a whole lot of other reasons.
think we already have a Muslim president.
That's like 147th on the list.
Well,
So then the Democrats would vote for a Muslim, is what you're saying?
well, I think, according to a bunch of people, did vote for Barack Obama. They
But he
claim
wasn't a Muslim.
The Republicans claim he's a Muslim.
But he wasn't a
In
Muslim.
the world, we don't have Sharia law. He didn't
Yet.
take away your guns.
I
He's
don't-
been at it for 7 years, Bob.
I don't know how much.
How long are you going to
I don't
keep
know how
this
much
up?
of an issue.
He's
with
really
that
hoping
is.
that he can get another term. That's
That has
the
nothing
bottom line.
to do with 7 years of a so-called Muslim president.
I
according
think
to
we
some
can
of
all
these.
agree that constitutionally that's not an issue. Now, practically, it's a whole different ballgame. And I don't know that it's a matter of being ready for. I think it's simply a matter of what is politically possible.
Right.
And in today's political climate, is that sort of thing, is a Muslim running for president possible? Does he have a chance of becoming elected? What do you think?
Yeah, I would guess no. I think, though, it's really going to depend on the person, because I would like to believe that just as there are good and bad people in any race, in any religion, in any culture, that if we found someone who was a really good, America-loving, Constitution-supporting Muslim, that he would have or she would have every chance to become president. And maybe I live in a fantasy land.
It's nice to think so. I personally think that the political
You've been hanging around with
climate
those people
today
who believe in rainbows and
probably
unicorns.
would prevent that.
Yeah,
Not that it's right necessarily,
Yeah.
No,
but
it's not right.
just a matter of
you know,
reality.
I mean, it's
Some
a matter,
would-
we're talking about prejudice here.
some would
so,
argue
that's
that
what we're
it's
talking
none
about.
of the American public's business what the religious faith is, but
No.
you
It
know,
may
the,
be, but it
the
always
American
comes down to
people
that.
have a strange way of deciding what is and is not
Yeah.
their business.
Well, yeah, like it wasn't possible.
That's a
for
good
the
line. And I know
Catholic,
that
you
movie
know,
that is from, just so you know.
Yes, you do.
The American president. Yes. But you know what? We have never really had, we've never had a religious fanatic as a president of the United States.
No.
And I think that speaks volumes
We're not
about,
bound to have
right.
one either.
I think that speaks volumes about this
Yes.
country. You know, we all have our own beliefs. Some don't have any beliefs at all. It doesn't matter. The point is, and Jim, I think you touched on it, whether the person is Muslim or not. I mean, the point is, if he first, understands the Constitution and doesn't try to rewrite it every time he gets a chance, like some people we know, but
He doesn't. He's not rewriting it. He's just ignoring it.
well, same difference.
No,
yeah,
it's-
I mean, it's his version.
You guys
It's
go
the
back
real
to Bush
version, and
again?
then his version.
Back to Bush.
Well, you guys go back to
Back
that
to
again?
Bush, I think. Yeah, I thought it's something about torture, and things.
Nothing wrong with torture, buddy.
Oh,
We don't torture enough of them,
we are
just
going
so
back
you
to
know.
Bush and
Okay, well, I
Cheney.
still go with the Pope and with moral.
Yeah, do unto
moral
others. I
issues.
know. I understand that.
Yes, I believe in that.
Oh, me too.
I don't
do
know.
unto others
No,
before they do
not
unto
in
you.
that case you don't. Not in that case you do not, Bob. Come on.
Eye for an eye, buddy. That's in the Bible too.
That's in the Old Testament. We
I
got
read the
beyond
Old
that.
Testament.
Just make sure it's your right eye before you do it.
Anyway,
And not
let's
somebody
let's get
else's
back
eye.
to topic
Yeah.
here. And the topic is, would America ever vote for a Muslim as president?
Yeah.
Again, I think there's a lot that they have to. I think there's a lot to overcome before that ever
There'd be a
happens.
whole lot to overcome.
I mean,
That's true.
even though the conspiracy theorists say that we blew up our own, twin towers and the Pentagon and all that, the point is that religious fanatics did that. That's what happened. And again, we haven't had a religious fanatic in the White House as a president. I don't think we will have one.
Yeah.
I think this country is level enough to understand that, hey, we have a constitution, we want to abide by it. We want, all men are created equal. We want that. So as long as somebody comes into the White House who has some semblance of what to do and make it right.
But what about a lower office? What about a congressional or a senatorial office?
Well, there are 2 Muslims in Congress right now.
Yeah, I
Keith
mean,
Ellison of
right, and the
Minnesota,
point is, it's all
and a guy from
about
Indiana.
districts, and if you're in
Well,
a
this is
heavily
Minnesota.
heavily
Indiana.
which is heavily Muslim, Minnesota. So, yeah. What about you, Jim? What do you think? Do you think we'll have one?
Yeah, as I said, I think that, I don't know that I think we'll have one at this point. I think that, that's like asking back in 1942, are we going to have a Japanese president?
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And I think the answer would have been no. And probably the same thing in 1951. The wounds are still very fresh, and in the case of Muslim extremists, the wounds stay fresh because we keep seeing them do more and more.
And we have some great people in this community of the Islamic faith.
we
who are
had,
not religious zealots, and who don't want Sharia law, who actually come to this country, abide by our laws, do the kind of things that need to be done.
I had hoped sincerely, and I did not vote for Barack Obama, neither the first time nor the second. But I
don't like change.
I had sincerely hoped that him being elected would be beneficial